During this video, we're going to look at the Canon EOS 500D. To insert the battery, open the battery door on the bottom, positioning the contacts towards the lens. To insert the SD card, open the door and insert with the gold contacts facing the lens as shown. The power button is on the top next to the mode dial. When you look through the viewfinder, if the AF points don't look sharp, adjust the dial here until you see them clearly. For a lot of situations, the fully automatic mode symbolised by a green rectangle will be fine. Select this and then look through the viewfinder. Place your finger on the shutter button. The shutter button has two steps. If you hold it down halfway, the focus points in the viewfinder will light up. These indicate what the camera is focusing on. If you're not happy, you can put the camera into manual focus mode using the switch on the side of the lens. Turning the focus ring will then allow us to focus on what we would like to. Pressing the shutter button all the way will release the shutter and take the picture. On the side of the lens there is also a stabilizer button. Use this if you're struggling to get a steady shot. There are other automatic modes for specific situations. These are portrait mode, landscape mode, macro mode, sports mode, nighttime mode, flash off mode, and filming mode. Please watch my other tutorial video to learn how to film with this camera. There is a link in the description. In order to take things a step further, we also have manual modes. CA is Creative Auto mode, which is designed to allow users to achieve good quality results without having to learn and understand the camera functions. To adjust the settings, press Set. From here we can edit some of the on-screen options such as flash mode, picture settings and format. However, the ones unique to this mode are blurred or sharp and darker or brighter adjustments, which basically edit aperture and exposure. You can adjust these by turning the adjustment dial on the top of the camera. P is an auto exposure mode which sets the aperture and shutter speed automatically. Exposure is adjustable in this mode by pressing AV and using the dial. TV stands for time value and gives the shutter the priority and is used mainly to adjust shutter speed. Exposure can also be altered in TV mode. AV stands for aperture value, and this mode enables the user to set the aperture manually for creative use of depth of field. Again, exposure is adjustable in this mode. M mode allows the user to set the shutter speed and aperture manually. A depth mode is a mode that sets the depth of field automatically and also allows you to adjust the exposure. In the manual modes we can also change the film speed by pressing the ISO button and selecting the appropriate speed. We can also adjust the white balance in these modes in order to achieve the right or wrong light source, depending on what results we are hoping for. This can be done by using the D-pad on the rear or the dial on the top of the camera. Don't forget to watch my videos on film speed and white balance linked in the end screen. We also have the ability to change the focus mode. One shot is best for still subjects. Once the shutter button is pressed halfway, the camera will focus. When using AI focus mode, the camera will select the appropriate mode depending on the movement of the subject. The AI servo mode is better for moving subjects, as when the shutter button is pressed halfway, the camera will focus continually until the shutter button is pressed all the way. A useful function is the ability to select individual focus points by pressing the AF point selection button and selecting the individual point we would like the camera to focus on. We can then take the picture or press Set to return it to automatic selection. In order to take more than one picture at once, we can press the drive mode button. We can select continuous shooting. This will take pictures continually while the button is pressed. Self-timer modes, when the camera will take a picture after 10 seconds or 2 seconds, and the last mode enables us to take up to 10 pictures after 10 seconds. The next icon down is the picture style. These affect the colour tones in your shot. Standard is vivid, sharp and crisp. Portrait produces a softer image in order to achieve nice skin tones. Landscape produces more vivid blues and greens. Neutral is better for those that edit their images on computer, producing more natural colours and subdued images. Faithful is for editing on computer too, for images shot at colour temperature 5200K, producing more dull and subdued images. Monochrome creates black and white images, and there are 3 settings that can be user defined. Metering mode is a method of measuring brightness. We can adjust this by pressing menu and selecting the camera icon with 2 dots and moving down to metering mode. Evaluative metering is when the camera sets the exposure automatically. Partial metering is effective when the background is brighter than the subject we are taking pictures of. The red circle shows the general area which is weighted to achieve exposure. Spot metering is for a specific part of the subject or scene. The red circle shows where the metering is weighted to achieve exposure. Center weighted average metering is when it is weighed at the center and averaged out throughout the scene, and it is really for advanced users. We can also access metering by pressing the set button on the back of the camera. This enables us to access all the functions displayed on the camera LCD screen. These functions are shutter speed, aperture, film speed, exposure compensation auto exposure bracketing, flash exposure, picture effects, white balance, metering, picture format, automatic focus mode and drive mode. You can use these by hitting the left and right buttons on the selector pad, by pressing set and navigating through the list, or by turning the dial on the top of the camera. We can also set automatic exposure bracketing. When this feature is turned on, you will capture multiple exposures of the same scene each time you press the shutter button. To alter this, press the menu button and navigate to the camera icon with 2 dots, and press set, then make your adjustment and press set again to enter your preference. Other useful functions would include the ability to alter the brightness of the display. Press menu and then move right to the spanner icon with 2 dots. Select LCD brightness by pressing set and adjust as desired. Press set to make the selection. We can also use a live view button to disable the viewfinder in order to use the screen for viewing purposes. If this is too dark or too bright, you will need to adjust camera settings such as aperture, shutter speed and film speed. In order to play back images, we can press the play button. We can zoom in and out of these and cycle through the pictures. To download your pictures, connect the USB cable, go to this PC, select EOS Digital, DCI-M and 100 Canon. Copy and paste the pictures to your desired location. Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful, please subscribe and feel free to like, share, comment and watch my other videos.